everyone, and welcome to the Library Kitchen here at the Gloucester County Public Library. I'm Chris, and today I have Dr. Amy Perkins from the Gloucester Veterinarian Hospital with me, and we're going to be making what?
Dog biscuits.
Dog biscuits and homemade doggy ice cream that is vet approved or Dr. Amy approved, right?
Absolutely.
All right, every ingredient is approved. It's safe for dogs.
Correct.
It's quick and easy to make. And so let's get started making these biscuits. So the first ingredient, Dr. Amy, is
canned pumpkin.
Canned pumpkin. Now for this, I did use in our recipe this organic pumpkin puree. And so this is good for dogs, not
Absolutely.
a problem. Does it have to be organic or not?
Does not have to be organic. I just always say make sure you use the organic pumpkin, not the pie filling.
Not the pie filling.
Yeah, extra sugar.
All right. So that's our first ingredient, and that's going to go in our bowl, and that is what? It's a third of a cup.
Third of a cup.
Third of a cup.
And there's a lot of good fiber in pumpkin. It's very good for dogs and their GI systems.
And for me.
And for us, yes.
Our next ingredient would be?
We've got 3 tablespoons of smooth peanut butter.
Smooth peanut butter. Now for this peanut butter, I looked at all the ingredients on the different peanut butters on the peanut butter aisle, and I came across Smucker's. These Smucker's, I believe it's the all natural, and I don't believe the only ingredients it has on here is peanuts and salt. So are there any restrictions when it comes to peanut butter?
Absolutely. So xylitol, we want to make sure that your peanut butter doesn't have any xylitol added to it. That is an artificial sweetener. Can also be labeled as bird sugar. On your label, just make sure that there's not any added artificial sweeteners.
Okay. Our next ingredient would be our eggs, and that is
two eggs.
All right. Put those in our bowl here, along with our peanut butter and our pumpkin. And what's next? Cinnamon. Cinnamon. That's 1 teaspoon.
Correct.
Now, is cinnamon pretty good for dogs?
Cinnamon is safe for dogs. Does have some mild anti-inflammatory properties as well. So, tastes good and it's beneficial.
Okay. And lastly, I believe it's honey.
Yes, we've got 1 tablespoon of honey.
A little sweetness for our pups. All right. Now with this, I'm going to mix it around. I'm going to break out the old whisk and whisk all these ingredients together till it's smooth. So, Dr. Amy, how long have you been a vet?
Going on 17 years.
17 years.
Yes.
All right. And what kind of dogs do you have?
I have a 6-month-old golden doodle named Franklin.
Franklin.
He's the love of my life.
All right, so this mixture is nice and smooth, and we're going to add 1 more ingredient.
Yes, we have 3 to 4 tablespoons of either beef or chicken broth.
Now, you can add 3 tablespoons, but every time I've made this recipe for my dog, I like to add a little extra to give it a little more moisture. She tends to like the chewy dog treats.
Over a crispy crunchy.
So with that, we're whisking all of our ingredients together to make a smooth batter. All right, so our next ingredient will be 2 cups of whole wheat flour, and we're going to slowly add that into our mixture, folding. And then once we get the flour incorporated into our liquid, we're going to then turn it out on our mat here and roll out these biscuits. So whole wheat flour is still a good ingredient for dogs.
Absolutely.
Not a problem at all.
Make sure you avoid almond flour. Almonds can be toxic to dogs. So that is 1 flour you wouldn't. If you're looking for other flour substitutes, that's probably 1 flour I would not reach for.
Okay.
But most of your other flours. But your whole wheat is going to add, again, just a little bit of added roughage, that you would get over a white flour. So.
And we're going to fold this flour into our liquid. So we're going to continue to fold our ingredients together to make a dough. And so I think it's there, and we're ready to turn this out on the bench mat. Aside. And now we're ready to just roll our sleeves up and start kneading this dough for it to come together and incorporate all of that flour. So Dr. Amy, do you want to go ahead and just continue to to knead that dough.
Yeah.
Now folks, you're going to want to also preheat your oven to 350 degrees. We're going to be baking these biscuits for around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on if you want like a soft, chewy dog biscuit or something that's a little more crispy. So we're going to incorporate that flour just like you're making a biscuit for yourself in the morning.
You can even share it with your dog. The dog biscuit, not your regular biscuit. Because then you'll have to come see me.
So what I'm going to do now that we have kind of incorporated all of our flour into the dough, I'm going to take a rolling pin and we're going to roll out our dough about a 1/2 inch thick. Again, you can roll it out thinner if you want to make little crispies for your dog, or a little thicker for like little chewy biscuits. So, and again, just like pie dough, we're going to roll out our dough. And then we're going to use our biscuit cutters, or what we did here at the library is we got several dog bone biscuit cutters. They're in assorted sizes.
Well, this would be like birthday size.
So we're going to roll this out to about a 1/2 inch thick, and then we'll cut out our biscuits. So we've rolled out our dough. Dr. Amy, what size biscuit should we make for our pups?
So it depends a little bit on how frequently you treat, what size your dog is, because do think of these like a treat, like we would think of maybe a candy bar, or these are going to be a little healthier than a candy bar.
Right.
But do think of it as a treat, a supplement to what your regular diet is. So if you say have like a 50-pound dog, then maybe a treat, maybe one this size, maybe 2 of those a day would be appropriate. You can always break them, into pieces so that, that one treat goes a little bit further. For a smaller dog, I'd probably do those. That's your shareable size. Yep.
And not only can I give this to the dog, but I could eat them as well.
Absolutely.
Because they are that healthy and good, and you know what's in this recipe.
Yep. All human grade.
Oh, human grade, that's right. Well, let's cut out a couple of these and we'll get them in the oven. All right, so we have stamped out our biscuits, and I'm going to get the pan and we'll get those in the oven. Dr. Amy, is there anything else we need to know about the dog biscuits? Some do's or don'ts, or there's some ingredients that we should not ever give our dogs?
Of course, if you're making more of a savory biscuit as opposed to a sweet biscuit, you of course don't want any onion or onion powder in them. Of course, never any artificial sweeteners.
No Splenda.
No Splenda, no Sweet and Low, no stevia. Usually just try to stick with honey. Honey is a great sweetener, great natural sweetener. And when you think about too what dogs' taste buds are, they're omnivores like us, so they're gonna be appeal to a variety of different tastes. They have very similar taste buds to us, but their sweet taste bud isn't quite as strong as some of ours are. I don't know that they always have a sweet tooth. So we don't have to make it as sweet as what we would make it for ourselves.
So what about chocolate?
Oh no, never chocolate.
Never chocolate.
Chocolate has some natural components to it that can be very toxic for our pets, can cause a variety of issues. There are oftentimes, if you Google it, you can find there is a formula for how much, like if there is an accidental ingestion, this would never be intentional, an accidental ingestion of how much your dog at its weight can handle, so that if your dog were to get into a bag of Reese's Cup, be able to calculate it and know exactly if we are in the toxic range, or call us so we can help you to figure that out. Because not only can it cause a lot of GI disturbance, but it can cause some issues with the heart rate, circulatory system.
Okay.
So definitely never chocolate.
What about grapes and raisins?
Never.
Never.
So we're just now beginning to understand the component behind what might be causing toxicity with grapes and raisins in dogs. We don't 100% know yet. And it seems to fall that it's either toxic to a dog or it's not. So avoid 100%.
Well, I know this is perfect for our
Yes,
dog.
absolutely.
This is going to go in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how crispy you want these treats for your pup. So in the oven it goes. So our dog biscuits have been in the oven about 15 minutes. We've got a couple minutes to go. And in that time, we're going to make homemade ice cream for dogs, right?
Yes.
Instead of buying Frosty Paws or whatever they call them in the store, we're making homemade Frosty Paws here.
Perfect.
All right. And we're going to start with, I believe it's
3 bananas.
3 bananas.
Now, how ripe do you want your bananas?
I don't really think it
doesn't matter.
makes a difference.
Okay.
It's easier to mash them when you get ones that are a little more ripe.
Okay.
Next ingredient is
We've got 16 ounces of whole milk yogurt or organic yogurt.
and this is plain.
Plain.
No
plain
sugar,
non-fat.
no sweetener, no vanilla flavor, no strawberry flavor, just plain Greek yogurt.
Yep. And again, you want to watch out for this with xylitol, any of your artificial sweeteners. Get the unsweetened, non-fat. It's going to be the lowest calorie and the best for them.
And then the next thing is going to be
We've got 1 cup of natural peanut butter. So this is the same peanut butter that you use with cookies, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Lastly,
We have 1 tablespoon of honey.
sweetener. All right, and now at this point, we are going to switch over and use our fantastic fork. This is something we use a lot at the library to blend butter into our flour when we make biscuits and things like that. But this has turned out to be a go-to fork when I'm making these ice cream for my dogs.
I'm excited to see it in action. This thing is amazing.
So we are just mashing up the bananas, the yogurt, the peanut butter, and the honey. And it's doing a fabulous job. It's fantastic. All right, so we have mixed our ingredients well, and we're ready to put this ice cream in a little Dixie cup. So these are little paper cups I got at the supermarket, and they're just a couple ounces. That's a good size for a dog treat, right? So we're going to take these little Dixie cups. Now, they are made of paper. I think they have a little bit of a wax coating on the inside. So these things, the ice cream doesn't stick to these. And what I like to do is just, when I get ready to give these to my dog, I just make a little cut with a scissor and then tear off the paper and put it in a bowl for them, because we don't want the dogs to eat the paper.
No.
So again, I'm just going to take a little spoon and fill up each one of these cups. And then I'm going to pop these in the freezer for about 4 to 6 hours until that mixture sets hard. And I think this makes about 12 servings.
Okay. I think this would especially be good in the summer when it's hot outside. Be a great summer treat.
My dog loves just to eat ice. I think it's anything
mine,
cold.
Mine does as well. He hears the freezer open and hears me messing with the ice, and he comes running.
But this has been a great recipe for my dogs, because I'll be honest with you, I don't mind them eating Frosty Paws or the non-dairy frozen dog treats. This just seems a little more nutritious, and I can also share one of these with my dog.
Absolutely, with one of your cookies.
And I think they're almost ready to come out of the oven.
Looks like it.
Well, we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll serve up some ice cream and cookies for our pups. So, Dr. Amy, I think we're ready to plate our treats for our dogs.
Wonderful.
So the ice cream has set up. Now, of course, magic of television, I made a batch earlier today and had it in the freezer. So it's set up nicely. And also our dog biscuits have come out of the oven, and they have been cooling on the cooling rack. So do not give your dogs a hot dog biscuit right out of the oven.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So I think we're ready to plate. So if you don't mind, if you could peel off the paper of the frozen treat. Perfect. And then we're gonna have a few little dog biscuits here on the side. Perfect for our beloved pets.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for coming to the library kitchen.
It's my pleasure.
Today. And remember to like and subscribe to the Gloucester County YouTube channel so that you don't miss any more episodes and demonstrations of the Library Kitchen. Have a good day. Bye-bye.